If you like my videos, don't forget to follow me on social media to keep up to date with all the latest news regarding my channel and my content. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe below or at the end of the video. Avengers Infinity War is the biggest and most bombastic movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far, with an ending both epic and tragic. While the ending may seem straightforward, the sheer enormity of it and its many plots and characters has left many viewers confused and disoriented, asking for an explanation as to what exactly happened. Before I continue with this video, I must put out yet another obvious major spoiler warning for those who haven't seen the movie. As per the request of the filmmakers and Disney, I'm not putting spoilers out there for the sake of spoiling the movie for those who haven't seen it, but offering a commentary for those who have and are genuinely curious about the movie's ending. I'm also going to go into some speculation for the currently untitled Avengers 4, so if you wish to avoid that, this video just may not be for you either. If you haven't seen Infinity War and don't want potential spoilers for Avengers 4, get out of here. If you're still here, I assume you've seen it and you're sticking around. If you haven't seen it and you do proceed to watch, don't blame me for spoiling anything. You've been warned. Have some self-constraint. At the end of Infinity War, Thanos, having collected 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones over the duration of the movie, arrives on Wakanda, where a large-scale battle has erupted, seeing Steve Rogers' faction of the Avengers and the Wakandan army fighting against Thanos' Black Order. After taking down pretty much every Avenger who opposes him, Thanos reaches his final objective, the Vision, who still holds the Mind Stone in his forehead. With Wanda by his side, Vision convinces her to use her powers to shatter the Mind Stone into 1,000,000 pieces, killing him in the process. Thanos, harnessing the power of the Time Stone, reverses time, bringing Vision back to life, and takes the stone, absolutely decimating the Vision once again in the process. Now with the power of all 6 Infinity Stones, Thanos sets his grand plan into motion, and with a click of his fingers, beings begin to disappear across the universe. Half of our heroes on Wakanda disappear, including Bucky and Black Panther. Half of those on Titan with Tony Stark disappear, including Peter Quill, Drax, Mantis, Doctor Strange, and Peter Parker, and even Nick Fury and Maria Hill disappear in the post-credits scene. Not so coincidentally, for storytelling purposes obviously, the characters we're left with at the end of the movie make up the original Avengers lineup of Stark, Rogers, Black Widow, and Hulk, as well as a number of supporting characters including Rhodey, Rocket, Okoye, M'Baku, and Nebula. We can also assume that even though he didn't appear in the movie, Hawkeye is still kicking about since he's been confirmed as starring in Avengers 4, same with Ant-Man and the Wasp. One question I've seen come up is, why did half of the characters disappear and why did some stay? Earlier in the movie, Thanos discusses his plan at length. He wishes to not end all of humanity, but bring balance to it by eradicating only half of it. Thanos himself says that those who will be eradicated will be done so at random. It's not his will, but the will of the stones to decide who stays and who goes. So it's clear to say that by the end of the movie, Thanos puts his ultimate plan into action without wasting time, and the result of that is half of humanity, including half of our heroes, are eradicated. Another major question that I've seen come up is, are they dead? Well, we can't know for sure until Avengers 4, but we can make an educated guess that, no, they're not dead. They're more than likely just on another plane of existence, a place in which the Avengers can somehow travel to and set them free. It's said that Ant-Man and the Wasp are to have large roles to play in Avengers 4, and there's every possibility that quantum travel could be utilized to travel to other realms to find our missing heroes. With Doctor Strange, one of those missing, it may seem that multiversal travel could be out of the question, but the fate of Wong is unknown. If he's one of the lucky ones, perhaps he could aid in traveling to other realms or multiverses where our heroes could be. Likewise, if our heroes are all aware and conscious in another realm, perhaps Strange himself could actively assist in dimensional travel as they attempt to free themselves. For one moment, let's assume that our heroes are perhaps really dead. If we take a look at set pictures released from Avengers 4, we can assume the movie involves some kind of time travel elements where the remaining Avengers travel back to the events of the first Avengers movie. Perhaps this is a Back to the Future type situation where younger versions of the characters are brought into the future to fight the good fight, but why Stark would need to enlist the help of a younger Rogers when the older Rogers isn't amongst the missing doesn't make much sense. I think, assuming our characters are dead, that more than likely time travel will be utilized to alter the original MCU timeline to prevent the last 6 years of the MCU from ever happening and save all our heroes from their demise. Not sure how this works without the Time Stone, but is it possible that quantum travel can take us across time too? No matter what happens in the end, I think all our heroes will be safe and sound when all's said and done. Tom Holland has gone on the record to say that he's signed on for 2 more Spider-Man movies with Sony, and with the character finally being done justice on the screen, I just can't imagine Marvel or Sony wanting to get rid of him so soon. Likewise with T'Challa, who has proven a very successful and favourite character in the MCU already, with the solo Black Panther movie already having made over $1.5 billion at the box office, at the time of this recording the 3rd most successful MCU movie so far. Black Panther was an absolute cultural revolution and could shape up to be a very lucrative franchise. Why Marvel would want to kill him off and ruin a successful franchise and undermine everything they've done for diversity in cinema in one swift blow is beyond me. Doctor Strange director Scott Derrickson has also spoken at length about the possibility of Doctor Strange sequels, and the end credits scene of Doctor Strange would imply that Mordo could be back as the main adversary in one of them. Regarding the Guardians of the Galaxy, a 3rd outing has been all but confirmed by both Marvel and director James Gunn, who has mentioned that the 3rd outing should include the original lineup, but perhaps be the final Guardians movie to feature them. All these signs point to our characters being saved one way or another. Whether it involves time or quantum travel or manipulation of timelines, we likely won't know for another year. But until then, you can rest safe knowing that all your favourite characters probably aren't dead. Not sure if we can say the same for Loki, Heimdall and Gamora. While I'm saddened by their deaths, I kinda just wish they'd stay finite so that there's some kind of stakes left in this franchise. Another thing to note is Thanos' fate at the end of the movie. After taking Thor's Stormbreaker to the chest, Thanos frees himself and disappears to another planet where he uses the power of the stones to heal his wounds. Thanos seems to take rest, looking over the desolate plane of the planet he finds himself on, and appears content that he's completed his plan. However, one could also feel in him a sense of dread, that after all's said and done, he's found himself alone. By dividing the universe and killing those he loved, he's alienated himself and realizes that his final judgment is yet to come, more than likely at the hands of the Avengers in Avengers 4. This makes Thanos a vulnerable and layered villain, one we almost feel sympathy for even though he's decimated half of our favourite heroes. This is the best kind of villain. Leading into Avengers 4, Thanos' vulnerability could ultimately lead to his own defeat. At the very end of the credits, the usual "the Avengers will return" is replaced with "Thanos will return," telling us that our heroes will once again go toe-to-toe with him. This time with the help of Hawkeye, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Captain Marvel, who was alluded to in the film's post-credit scene. If you'd like to know more on that, check out the video I put together explaining the scene. What I'm most looking forward to in Avengers 4 is seeing Cap's team, who almost took a back seat in this movie, get a larger role to play, as promised by the movie's directors. I'm also keen to see who delivers the final blows to Thanos. One could imagine that Captain Marvel could be the key to it all, but I'm more inclined to think that Nebula will finally get her wish of killing her father. It's been built up too much over the course of the franchise, and I'm sure that's the reason she's been left unharmed at the end of Infinity War. I also think Stark holds a key to his defeat, given that Doctor Strange, the only hero who's seen how it all ends, saves him at the hands of Thanos in the movie's final act after promising not to save anyone. For now, that's all the speculation that I've got. All will of course be revealed next year when the Avengers and Thanos return. If this is the first of my videos you've watched and you've enjoyed it and you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, then please hit that big old subscribe button up on your screen right now. Give me a little bit of support. And while you're feeling generous, don't forget to hit that like button down below. It does a great deal in getting my videos out there. Look guys, I hope I'll see you all again soon. Until next time, take care and I hope you have a marvelous day. Excelsior!